Welcome to my first vegetable garden. Gardening 101 episode 5 is all about trellising and growing vertically. I just want to give you some ideas of how to do that because we have finally reached our spring here in Maryland Zone 7, and we're going to be doing a lot of the Gardening 101 episodes outside now that all my plants are out here. Everything that I've been growing, just to give you a quick look, have been acclimated. They're doing well here, and over the next week to 2 weeks they're going to be getting out into the garden, and I'll be showing you how to do that. Now we're going to talk about trellising, basic trellising. Plastic covered metal poles are a little more expensive, but they do well to help support your plants. These aren't really trellises, but they're stake supports for your pepper plants and for your tomato plants. Now, a fun way to create a trellis for your peas is these are peas that were started indoors. You saw some of them perhaps in some of the other episodes of some of my other videos, but that cage right there I picked up at a thrift store. They were like $1 each or something, and it's a great way to stop rabbits from chewing your peas down. But you can see the peas are coming through, and those are just tree branches. So stake in a lot of tree branches that you've cut down when you're doing your pruning, put them around your peas. They will latch onto here. Peas are hollow stemmed, so if the wind comes, they're going to break. You want them to be able to trellis up something, and you can't get much more inexpensive than using sticks from your tree. These are actually from my apple tree. Coming across this way, this has been, I've been using this for 5 years. This is a wire rack that you can buy at Home Depot or Lowe's. And these are deck railing posts, which I'll spin around slowly not to make you motion sick. It's just those posts right there. They're like maybe $1, $2, not that expensive. And you just put them into the ground by into about a third of the depth, and then you just tie this rack to it. This is what we put in our closets, and it's being used right now for peas, but it will also be used for cucumbers and perhaps beans. And this is again another way to protect your plants from rabbits. Just cut some chicken wire to size, tuck it into here, tie it in, and then wrap it around, and you don't have to worry about rabbits coming and chewing your peas down. Now, really important, you can see how this trellis is, this rack is. The sun hangs out everywhere that you can see in the screen right now. So it tracks over here from the left in the morning and comes this way and then sets over here. You want to place your rack perpendicular to where the sun is mostly, because the sun will evenly come on both sides. It's not going to cast a shadow down onto any of the plants there or there, and you'll be able to grow more. Now, why does trellising work? Because you're growing vertically. Vertically, you save a lot of space. For instance, if I decide to grow climbing pole beans on here, just a Kentucky pole bean, rather than planting a bunch of bush beans through here, I can put probably half as many plants on here. I would actually put 3 or 4 bean plants, pole beans, right on here. They will climb straight up here. You'll get a harvest for a nice long period of time. The shadow isn't going to cast to the right or the left because the sun is straight ahead. And then right in here, I can grow more things. Those are radishes, that's kale, but growing vertically saves you space in the garden, gets you more production in your garden, and you just want to plant it so that the trellises and the sun don't cast shade onto your different areas where you're growing other things. These are my greens that I started indoors. Part of the reason why you want to start things indoors is because you'll get them to the table sooner. If I had to drop seeds in now, I'm going to have to wait around. But look at how well they're really doing. And these are the plants that were covered in snow, doing perfectly well. You can use a tomato cage. It's April 25th here. That tomato cage won't be needed for at least 8 weeks, maybe longer, 12 weeks. So let your peas just go right up the tomato cage, and you can repurpose the tomato cage. Over here again, I have the rack that we put in our closets, and those again are 5 years old, so they're a little more expensive. I think maybe they were $12 or $13, but cost that out over 5 years. They do really, really well. These are what you use to set up a basic fence. You get them at Home Depot. They have the tip right at the end, and you would just drop them in where you want. And what I do is put them in something like this, and we put 3 across, and then you can see from last year I just put the jute string across here, maybe 6 inches apart, depends on what you're growing, and just let cucumbers grow straight up that. Again, inexpensive, it's metal, it's going to last for a long time. Let's take a walk over here. And again, when you can grow vertically, you're going to be able to get more into your garden, and you're going to be able to get more to your table. These are actually my hop plants that I'm going to have to figure out a way to let them climb 12 feet high. These poles are 6 feet tall. Again, metal, covered in plastic, a little more expensive, but they last, and they would be a perfect trellis for a pole bean. You can set them up this way and put some jute across if you want to grow something else. I like doing this, just creating a little bit of a teepee. You can buy these at Home Depot. I think they're $1 to $2. And you just put 3 in a triangle, lean them forward, tie them together with some string, and then I will plant beans at the base of that. Very inexpensive, and they will last a nice long time. Alright, let's take a look on this side of the garden. So let me climb up here and across. These are perennial flowers, by the way. I'm going to have to step in them because I blocked my exit over there. If you want to drop in a perennial bed in the middle of your garden, it's a great way to bring in pollinators and beneficial insects. These are more expensive tomato cages. You could grow peas up them now while you're waiting, so you can repurpose all the tomato cages really. These are 1x1s. These are a little more expensive. These are a complete cube instead of these. And all you do is cut a point in the end. And these come in 6 and 8 foot pieces, and then the 1x1s are sturdier. I use these for my tomatoes too. Cut a point in the end and you can just drop them into the ground, and you can just generally see the different trellises that I'm using, the different stakes I'm using for tomatoes and peppers, and then different ways to grow vertically. If you again need protection from rabbits, these are wire racks from those collapsible greenhouses that unfortunately they don't last, and I kept the wire racks. I just bend them, drop them over what I need to protect them from the rabbits, and this will do perfectly fine. Now that's a little beat up because I transplanted it, a frost came, beat them up, but as long as the root system and the center of the growing area doesn't freeze out, your lettuces and greens will totally come back. You can also grow peas this way. Just drop in some bamboo posts like right here. These are the metal pieces covered in plastic. Drop them in 1, 2, 3. Tie them across the top, and those peas will do perfectly fine growing up that way. Again, chicken wire is your friend. The rabbits will come and shear down my blueberry plants, so I just circle the plant. They won't be able to get in there, and then I drop some stakes in to secure them so the wind doesn't blow them down. A little bit of weeding, but the garden is looking really, really good. I'm excited about that. Now I'm also growing fruit in these large containers. I'll be doing some videos on that. And you just drop in 2 stakes, bring the jute across. This is a grapevine, a seedless grapevine, and you can just weave it across the jute. Hopefully that's a fig plant. Let's see if it's budding. I'm not sure if the buds are coming, but when it warms up, it feels good because it's still plastic, and you can actually check it. If you scrape it a little bit and it's still green and soft, that means that it survived the freeze and it should be sending out leaves soon. And this is a goji berry. Again, same principle. Just drop 2 stakes in there, and then I weave this through. And I'm going to keep it flat so that it's not growing everywhere when we're trying to walk by here. But I'll use this trellis to really manage the growth of my fruit plants. And then coming back across this way, you can just see a lot of things that I'm growing. That's spinach. That's my composter I just got. I'll be doing a video on that. And then these are all plants that I started indoors, the bigger plants. They're doing really well, and that's one reason why you want to start transplants indoors, because you can drop them out here and you're going to get more produce to your table more quickly. More radish, or more spinach up there, This is my mesclun mix that I sell, my cut and come again lettuces, 20 different varieties of green leafy lettuces. But they're all doing well. I'm really excited. I'm so happy to get out here. I mean, it was ridiculous. We'd get frost, and then we'd get freeze, and we'd get 70-degree weather, and it was just crazy. Those are potatoes. And then let's just finish with the rest of the plants I've been growing indoors that you've seen in the other Gardening 101 episodes. They're all looking pretty good. So I just wanted to give you a quick idea of how you can use different things to stake your tomatoes, your peppers, how you can grow vertically, save some space, get more produce to your table, and different ways you could set up trellises. This is really probably the most inexpensive ways you can do it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe. The series will be done at least one episode a month. Now that things are growing, I hope to get out maybe 2, maybe 3 Gardening 101 episodes per month. And we're going to get into planting peppers and tomatoes, getting your transplants into the ground in the next wave of 101 episodes. Thanks for watching.